bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's good? Happy Monday. Good afternoon and welcome. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app, and on television, Fox 34 News Now. Hey, Mom. YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, whole heap of ways you can take us in, however you're doing. So thank you for making us part of your Monday afternoon. A step closer to football season. Alongside Trent Hilliard, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White across the way taking care of us. You can also chime in, join the conversation if you'd like to. Your thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams, whatever you have. It's all welcome there on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take the app anywhere with you, even listen in if you're out in Poland, Maine. What's up, Trent?
Not too much.
Have a good weekend?
I did. Nice. Didn't do a whole lot, but that's all right. Everything gets it's about to get a little bit busier as things kick in and football season rolls around and all that. So,
when do you think you're going to get the coaching shakes where it's like where you don't know what to do with yourself because you're so used to
to getting? I think this week will probably hit a little bit because friendship schools start up on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's
so that'll kind of be the start of it, and then of course once end of October rolls around and scrimmages and games and everything get going, it'll really kind of fill, I'm sure, a little void there that
sure.
But so far, hey, it's all been good.
It's good.
It's all been good. So
when is your wife going to get the shakes from having you in the house too much? We need to get you a hobby. At least you got this radio gig where you're at least pushing you out the door.
She'll be. I'm sure we'll be ready to find some things to do that are away from the house a little bit. We're fortunate. We like spending time together.
That's a good thing.
So we're pretty good when we're together.
There you go. We got plenty we'll talk about today as the Red Raider football team pops into the rankings. The AP poll came out about an hour ago, and the Red Raiders drop in at number 12, same spot that they were in the coaches poll. Too high, too low, just right. I think I asked you this.
Yeah, I think, I hate preseason rankings but because it still sets the whole stage for the – everybody's, oh, well, they're not that important. No, they're very, very important.
They are.
And so, you don't know anything about anybody yet, and there shouldn't be ranking. I'm not a big, have to wait till week 6.
Sure.
But I think week 3, you kind of go, okay, let's look and see and value where these teams are, and these teams that have scheduled tougher, let's give them that bump that they played a Power 4 team out of conference. Teams that didn't, like a Tech in week 1 and 2, they're not going to get much credit for anything, and no. That's part of the scheduling deal. But the whole narrative that goes on with the SEC, that they played a top team. So
according to who?
Right. According to the preseason rankings, which shouldn't mean anything, and it's all just guess and speculation, but you get credit for that for the whole year. Both teams, the winner and the loser, when they're playing each other, and like I've said before, Big 12 benefits that in the basketball realm, and the same way the SEC and a little bit the Big 10 does in the football realm, but SEC for sure with all their teams in there. So some of them are ranked way too high, and we'll see them drop off, and that's why it's so important. If you want to have credit, with your team in your league, you have to win those out-of-conference games. And so the BYU versus Notre Dame, Arizona State versus A&M, those two games are huge for the Big 12 and how you're looked upon by the national media and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what everybody's trying to amend this. What do we call it? Protect College Sports Act in Congress. It's gotten punted to next month. So you want to throw an amendment in? No preseason rankings allowed. We can't have any preseason rankings. Let's just make
anything that means anything. The ones that are just trying to get their clicks. In the old days, sell their magazine.
There you go.
Whatever.
Right.
Don't. But when you're actually giving credit to it, and you're going to put a ranking beside their name when they play the football game, then that one shouldn't exist until the third week.
Yeah, if it was a normal sport like the NFL or every other sport out there, right, and we just take the results on the field,
exactly,
then it's fine to have preseason rankings. We can do whatever we want. But if we're having selection committees and perception that rules, then there's perception. You've got a starting point, and unfortunately, it can. Fortunately for Tech, I mean, you've been good the last couple of years, so you get to start out in front. I mean, last year you didn't start out in front, and you still ended up in the top. I guess you finished at 7, but you're a top 4 team in the college football playoff rankings when it mattered, because you were just that good of a team. But there's plenty of teams that you've got a deep hole to climb out of. Arizona State 2 years ago, if they would have been a team that was ranked in the top 10 to start or a top 15 team to start the season, then they're not sitting there as a number 12 team at the final or when the college football playoff rankings come out. They're sitting there inside the top 10 with one loss. So it's just it's one of those things where I'm with you. Preseason rankings are great for sports talk radio. They're great for those sorts of things, but they shouldn't matter. Tech gets number 12. We'll go through the whole list a little bit later, as the Red Raiders are in your highest preseason ranking since 2008, I believe. I believe you were right in the same range. I did not see it.
Wow.
So you haven't been – oh, no, pardon me. The highest – it's the second highest ever. 1977 is your previously highest preseason ranking. Number 8 in 1977. So hasn't happened a lot for you.
Wow.
You've gotten preseason credit. And different times, different expectations. I actually think you're going to finish quite a bit higher than 12. And I think a lot of people, even AP voters, would expect Tech to finish higher than 12 because of your schedule that's set in front of you.
Yeah,
so,
I think everybody's kind of a wait and see what the quarterback position looks like.
I think that's the only thing that keeps people from putting Tech a little bit higher.
Yep.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday afternoon. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 Score and the 100.7 Score app. Chois Woodman, Trent Hilliard, Lucas White, all with you today. I'll keep the thoughts, the comments, the questions rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Trent.
Yes, sir.
This is our troll. I'm just letting you know before we read it. Our SEC troll. Do the college football coaches have SEC bias, or is that just the AP? How is it that 0 SEC teams got first place votes? I can play this game too. How is it that Texas Tech got 0 first place votes? They've done just as much lately as any SEC team did. The SEC is not only what you talked about, where the Big Ten has won the national championship the last 3 years. The SEC hasn't made an appearance in the national championship in the last 3 years.
Yep.
0. So how is it possible? I guess the AP voters didn't think that any of them were worthy of a first-place vote, as sacrilegious as that is to Paul Feinbaum or whoever the heck you are. I think that do I think Georgia or Texas could end up winning the national championship? Sure. But again, I think there are arguments out there for 12 to 15 teams this year that could win a national championship.
Yeah. And as far as the bias, the question about do the college football coaches have bias? Absolutely,
yeah,
they
100%.
do. You know,
those 9 votes that they got in the coaches poll between Georgia and Texas probably came from SEC coaches.
Right. Teams that have them on their schedule.
Probably
Ohio
so.
State probably
Yep.
put Texas up there, you know, because it's anonymous. Those coaches, their ballot's not listed until I think the final one at the end of the year, they put it out there. But, you know, and so you don't want it to be. If you're a coach, you're not going to vote because then it gets in there and fuels the fire for a team you're playing or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of bias of putting the teams that are on your schedule a little bit higher, like we said, because then when you beat them, you get more credit, or if you lose to them, you don't get knocked off as much. So, it's certainly not a perfect system, which is why, as you have said numerous times, there doesn't need to be committees or polls or things determining who gets in there. Let's all play it on the field and see how it goes.
So, I don't know if you're serious on that or just trolling on the
Not
text
H-Cop.
there. Not H-Cop, no. Certainly hit the nail on the head with the Penn State ranking last year. Sheesh. Yeah. Preseason rankings may not mean anything, but at least it gives us something to talk about as the dreadful sport list, besides baseball, which Ranger fans is not too exciting right now.
Yep.
Days of summer dwindle down. It's a long text. But yes.
It's August.
That's all it should be. That's the point, is that, that's what he just said, is that it should be great for us to have for sports talk radio, for comparison purposes, but it should never have any sort of contribution to the finished product at the end of the season. And because it gives a starting point for everybody, it's like, oh, we can't rank. So if Baylor goes and beats Auburn, then just because Baylor beat Auburn, does that mean, oh, we got to put them in the top 25 poll? We got to slot them up there? No. But do you do it? Possibly. The problem is there shouldn't be a starting point. We can have in our minds an idea of what this is. But for it to influence anybody that's sitting there on that college football playoff committee, which they literally have strength of schedule as one of the metrics, which goes off of preseason rankings, it's just it's a silly process that we do. Every other sport, if you get stuck in a tough league, you just get stuck in a tough league. You get stuck in a tough division. That's that way from Pee-wee football through high school through the NFL. You just skip over college for it. So, did the ACC and Big 12 coaches also vote SEC teams high? I doubt it. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Like he said, it's anonymous. But why would they? I mean, are you saying they vote them high? Sure. They probably voted them in the top 3 to 5. Those teams are deserving. But what makes you think that it's your God-given right to have an SEC team ranked number 1 or with first-place votes? It's crazy to me because of how much SEC bias is fed to us. But guess what? Most of the SEC bias is fed to us by the league itself or by ESPN. Yeah. The AP has no – they don't get paid by the SEC the way that people at ESPN do. They don't have a mutual interest in there. The AP is as close to – sorry, I won't speak for the actual writing of it, but the AP sports-wise is the closest thing we have to journalism in 2026.
Right.
So, and it's made up of a bunch of local sports writers who probably do have some biases for their team they cover, but obviously not enough for anybody that's near Athens, Georgia, or Austin, Texas to put them number one.
Well, we've seen, majority of them, I think, have integrity. And our local one, that Don Williams, that votes on it, well, he's gotten ripped at times because not putting Tech where people thought he should have and all that. And he's like, we hadn't played anybody yet. We can't put them up there.
Yeah, he was one of the slower ones to come around.
Oh, yeah. He didn't have us ranked too high because he didn't feel like we'd earned it, and as it should be.
Yeah.
And yeah, people were ripping him, and golly, they were all after him. And so, yeah, if you've people like that, and they publish it. They publish it each week. What your vote is, and so that there's a little bit of accountability there, and transparency that needs to be there. But yeah, I'm sure there's a little bias from people because not everybody's like Don and going to stick to their guns. A lot of them will be homers and do things, and Don's as much Red Raider as anybody, but he has to separate that, and he does a really good job of separating that for the AJ when he does his voting and things.
So we'll learn tomorrow. It's about, I think that it's a day later. There's always a post out there that tells you everybody and who voted what, and you can see every single voter and what their top 25 votes were. So we'll go through some of that tomorrow. Tell you where Don voted the Red Raiders. Tell you where some of the other ones voted as well, like the highest ranking for the Red Raiders, the lowest. There were several that took forever to even put Texas Tech in the top 25 last year.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I mean, what are you watching? Like, there's some –
right.
I think there were still people that after you beat Utah that didn't have Texas Tech in the top 25.
Yeah, and it's one thing to go, okay, your schedule's not real weak, real strong. But you also got to look at, are you dominating though? Are you doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing to these teams? And Tech was dominating. And, we had the same thing back in 2008 in that season that, our non-conference schedule was not very good because I remember
it wasn't.
Gosh, was it like Indiana State? Or I can't remember who it was, but people were wondering if we were going to end up putting 100 points up there. Playing on with Leach in the offense and his no mercy with things like that. So yeah, we were being bashed in 2008 for our non-conference schedule, and everybody remembers that season as being wonderful, just kind of like last year. So it's hard to get people to come to Lubbock to play Texas Tech because of our fan base, our students, and everything. It is a tremendous home field advantage, and so. People don't want to come here, and now that you're good, people just don't want to play.
Lose.
If we can sustain it, and then people realize, okay, we can go play them, and it's not going to affect us because this is a perennial top 10 teams. I think you'll start seeing us being able to schedule teams and be a little easier to do that.
And oh, by the way, I've said this before. One of the great byproducts of a expanded playoff will be more home and homes. You will get more teams that are not scared to go play somewhere because it won't kill your whole season.
Exactly.
So I can't wait. There will be plenty of people argue against an expanded playoff, that sort of thing. But that's one thing that will be good for sure, is you will get more teams that are like, okay, we can handle a trip to Lubbock.
Right.
Because if we do lose it, it's not going to tank the season.
Exactly. Yep. Great point.
Trent, have a great rest of your day.
All right. Sure will. Appreciate it.
Bottom Line continues on 100.7 Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is time for some blind projections. Finishing up the summer with predicting every game of the Big 12. Jamie, we only have 4 schools to go.
Wow. Just cruise through.
Up. That's
good because we only have like a couple weeks to go.
Yeah, it would make sense. We kind of have to. Got to get it wrapped up. I'm Choice. Evelina will be picking games with us today. But you only get to pick half, Evelina, because 6 of the games are already selected. Heck, I don't even know. You might have even picked one of these already. But, Jamie, as we roll through, this is one of the more intriguing teams because it is one that a lot of people predict will play Texas Tech in the Big 12 Championship for the second consecutive year. We've got the BYU Cougars here. They start off with something called Utah Tech. I believe this is the old Dixie State. Not that that meant anything to a lot of people either.
Yes, it is.
So Utah Tech is the first team BYU plays. I assume you're going to take the Cougars
I will take BYU.
and not the
Some sort of buffalo
Buffalo Heads.
looking thing. Bison?
Is that what they are?
I think they're buffalo bison.
Okay. They're Buffalo Bison. No, that's the Buffalo Bills, Jamie. I'll take BYU. Evelina?
BYU.
I figured so. Arizona's the next one. This is one of the more intriguing games very fast out of the gates.
Right off the bat.
If
And
Arizona's
this is a conference game, correct?
I believe so. I think this is the first Big 12 conference game of the year. That is my understanding. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're not playing another.
Yeah.
Yep, so this is a conference game. And I think it's the first one. On Saturday, September 12th. Who you got?
I got BYU.
This is one of those that I think the timing of it so early in the season, if it was in Tucson, I would probably pick Arizona. But with the experienced quarterback and that sort of thing.
It's not a night game.
No, it's only 2:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will I'm going to take BYU as well.
Me too.
2-0 start. Then they head to Colorado State. I actually think this is the game that was. Do I have this off? Maybe it was off a year. I was like, was this what Colorado State replaced Texas Tech with that was supposed to go to there?
It's in Fort Collins.
In Fort Collins.
That's
Yeah. Tech was supposed to go to Fort Collins, but they scratched that off the schedule with all the changes in
I
recent
spent a
years.
night there once. Nice little place.
I like it. I like Fort Collins. Who you got?
I got BYU.
I do too.
Me too.
I think it could be not necessarily a scare, but a closer game, like a close first half type of game in that one. That'd be interesting. The next 2 games we have already picked in previous dates. That's at TCU. All 3 of us chose the Cougars. And versus Iowa State, a 9:15 kickoff. Where all 3 of that's the Friday night game where all 3 of us chose the Cougars. 5-0 start for Brigham Young. Then the big game of the year for many. Most say this is the most important game for your conference outside of the conference.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
BYU and Notre Dame at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Jamie?
I'll take the Irish.
Okay. I will take the Cougars.
I will take Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. So there is a loss to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Then we've all picked the UCF game already. This one's in Orlando. Doesn't matter. We all chose the Cougars. Versus Arizona State. BYU's like a team kind of like Tech, where I think most of, we'll get to this in the next one, most of their games, the tougher games, are at home this year, so that is fortunate. Arizona State or Cougars, Jamie?
I'll take BYU.
BYU for me as well.
Me too.
Then it's at Utah. Do you remember what you picked in the second rendition of these picks that we did?
For some reason, I have turned into having a love affair with Utah.
I don't get it.
I don't either. So I'm going to just assume that I picked Utah the first time?
No, I think you've developed it since. You picked BYU the first time. I think this has developed, we started picking these games about a month ago, so I think that's developed after that point.
Right.
You picked BYU. I picked BYU. Or Our producer picked BYU.
If I was picking right now, I'd pick Utah.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
Can we change your official vote? I don't know if that's allowed or not.
I'm okay with it, but
I mean, it's not like
you're the one making
we're set in
rules.
stone. I can change it on the official counter if you want.
Change it.
Jamie's changing his vote. Okay. Now, Evelina, you can change it too. Joel's the one who picked it. He's not even around anymore, so.
I'm sticking with BYU.
You think it's BYU? Okay, so BYU.
He's not around here anymore. Just
Well, yeah, I didn't kill him
anybody was
off.
wondering.
He hasn't been killed off, so that's good. So Jamie's officially changing his to Utah. So 2 losses on Jamie's schedule. I have 0. Evelina's got 1 so far. Baylor, once again at home for BYU. Jamie.
BYU.
I'll take BYU.
BYU.
And we've picked the other 2. It's at Kansas. All of us chose a BYU win. And home against Cincinnati. Once again, all of us chose a BYU win. So Jamie goes 10-2 and 8-1. Still a really good season, but may not get them into the Big 12 championship game. I went 12-0, along with the Red Raiders going 12-0. So
That's what we need.
it would be really good for both.
Right.
If you want 2 teams in the college football playoff, that's the
Especially considering one of them have a win over what will probably be a top 5 Notre Dame team.
Yeah. And then Evelina went with an 11-1 record and 9-0 in Big 12 play. Still pretty darn impressive. We collectively went 11-1 and also 9-0. So where does it go wrong for BYU if they are not as good as we expect them to be? Is it
All of his top receivers, I believe, have moved on. So I think there is question marks to me with what their passing game will be like, and if teams can just key on the run. Even though L.J. Martin is terrific and Bachmeier I really am a fan of as well, I don't think he's just this amazing passer. And so if teams are able to load the box against them, I question how good their offense will be a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. That and if you lose that game to Notre Dame, I feel like now you're playing with a ton of pressure. And I still think it's a really good football team. I just think the atmosphere when it's BYU hosting Utah and when Utah's hosting BYU, I just think that factors in to those 2 games. And
I agree.
Last year was a good game and BYU came out on top, and so I just feel like it's Utah's turn to get them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think that this is that before the season starts, the toughest conference game for me to pick, I think, is outside of some middle
Cincinnati
games.
versus Iowa State.
Right, that sort of stuff is. I'm talking about the toughest upper echelon game for me to pick is BYU and Utah, and part of it is that it's a rivalry game. You never know what happens, and I think that phrase, the throw out the records, you never know what's going to happen, gets overused when we're talking about rivalry games. But I think some of the true, just legit rivalries out there, where it goes down to the core, I think those ones are where it really does apply. Like the Red River Shootout. We've seen the lesser team win that one plenty of times. So we've seen Michigan beat Ohio State when Michigan was definitely not the better team several times. So that's one where I think both teams are going to be good teams. But the fact that it's at Utah, it gives me pause to pick BYU. Y'all tell us what you think. We'll read some of your thoughts. We got a question of the day up next. It's the bottom line on 100.7 Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Monday. This is The Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, yours from the First United Bank studio. Y'all keep your thoughts and comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Return to a few of those here shortly. But first, let's get to a question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, Jamie, Lucas, Evelina, our listening audience. I need you to pull up your Associated Press poll. Not yours, but for this particular question. Jamie, the AP preseason poll last year had 12 teams that were in it that did not finish in the postseason poll. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to pick out a quarter of that. Wait, what's a quarter of 12?
3.
Okay, that's what I thought. Now let's go with 4. I want 4.
That's a third.
Let's pick out a third of that. Pick 4 teams from this year's poll, and you can only do one in the 20s. Just to. I don't want you to pick 21 through 25. 4 teams.
That would actually be 5.
Why do you throw math at me all the time? Oh, where was I? Oh, 4 teams from this year's top 25, only one in the 20s that you think will not land in the, or that are maybe not that you think that are most likely to end up outside the top 25.
Okay.
You got them? Okay.
I'll get them.
Get them.
I'll take Louisville.
All right.
There's my 20s.
There's your 20s.
I will take Penn State.
Okay.
I will take Michigan.
Oh, boy.
And I will go Southern Cal.
All right. So you said you're going with 14,
16,
16,
18, 24.
24. Yep. All right, Lucas.
My one school in the 20s
Yep.
is going to be Iowa.
Thought about them.
And then I'm going to take 19 SMU.
Okay.
And then I agree with Jamie. I'm going to take 16 Michigan. And then I am going to take 13 Alabama.
Is that allowed?
Yeah. Is Bama allowed to be outside of a top 25? Thought it's like Texas. They have
Is the sport shut down?
an obligation. All right, Jamie.
I kind of went the same way with Southern Cal. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, would they really leave them out? All those people on the West Coast?
I think they just have to be in the preseason poll. There's been times where they've been outside the regular poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's allowed. All
So
right.
USC's they're in their spot in the preseason poll. They're another one of those teams that doesn't have too easy of a schedule. All right. I'm not doing one in the 20s just because why not? I am with you on a couple of teams, though, Jamie. Give me Penn State at 18 and give me Michigan at 16. I think so. All 3 of us have Michigan. I'm not buying what they're selling. I just don't think that they're going to be that great. And I also don't know that Whittingham will adjust too well there. I'm not sure Whittingham's not a Tuberville at Michigan.
Okay.
Just as the fit.
I just think it's really tough conference, really tough
That
schedule.
too. Yeah, but so 18, 16, And number 9 and number 8.
I knew he was going to pick 8.
8, I'm telling you, I look at A&M's schedule and they're 8-4, which might be like number 25 at the end of the year or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like 8-4 in the SEC is probably still going to get you in.
Well, it usually goes off of what you do in a bowl game if teams decide to play in a bowl game or whatever. I look at their schedule and they feel like it'd be hard pressed if they're not 8-4 this year. Ole Miss, I got to see it with the new coach. I know they did well last year, but it's a new year. You're doing things your own way in the off season. So I don't know. I'm just not I'm not sold on them at this point.
Okay.
And Jamie, the teams that were left out last year, that were preseason but not postseason top 25 teams, you had number 2, Penn State. Number 4,
Michigan.
Clemson. Number 9, LSU, that didn't finish in the top 25. You had 3 top 10 teams.
Wow.
11, Arizona State. 12, Illinois. 13, South Carolina. 15, Florida. 16, SMU. 17, Kansas State. And then only 3 teams in the 20s, Iowa State, Tennessee, and Boise State. So it wasn't just a bunch of teams towards the back end that AP voters missed on last year. And Trent and I were talking about it a little bit. It feels like it does kind of just speak to college football right now.
Yeah.
That it's harder to predict, that it's things turn over in one season a lot more. So
it's funny, though, right? Because Penn State was number 2 to start the year, didn't make the top 25.
And they're back.
Iowa State was in the top 25 to start, didn't make it. They took the coach who underperformed at Iowa State.
You're right.
And sent him to Penn State. And Penn State's
back in the top 25. And the quarterback, not just the coach.
And the quarterback.
Coach and quarterback that underperformed. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, he was their like 6th or 7th pick for the coach at Penn State too. They just settled on Matt Campbell eventually.
Goodness.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't always compute. But it's going to be interesting to see if this is more of a norm, where it's just harder to predict. Because college football has been the most predictable sport out there for the longest time. That and women's college basketball both have been the most predictable sports on who's going to finish at the top. But the least parity. I think they've got college football beat for a while.
UConn and South Carolina. Just
UConn, South Carolina.
Yeah.
There was an occasional Stanford in there. And
this year was UCLA.
And Baylor. Baylor was there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee was there for like 30 years.
Yeah, for forever. Yeah. I mean, for a while, Tech was a
was going to say, didn't we
perennial
have
Sweet
like
16 team?
10, 12, 15-year run of being in the Sweet 16?
I think so. It was double digit. But all right, y'all can chime in on that. Yates Flooring Center chat line. Jay says something hateful. Choice has a Waco accent. He can't stop saying "sickum, y'all." I've never said that in my life.
A Waco accent.
I didn't know there was a Waco accent. Jamie always says "wicked," which is which I consider a Boston thing. I do think that is a Boston thing, and you say "wicked" a lot.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I think they
wicked smack.
I mean, I'm sure I got that from being a New Yorker, but I think it's more of a Boston thing than it is a New York thing.
User H Cop says, Jamie, can you tell us why you think the SEC is a tough conference?
Because they have a bunch of schools who spend a lot of money on NIL.
Yeah, a lot of good football players, too.
That brings in really talented players.
They
We've
are a
seen
tough
that here at
conference.
Texas Tech.
They've also been a big old weenie conference that didn't play 9 games until this year. And they're already making excuses on why it's going to be tougher to play in the SEC than anywhere else because they've got 9 games, even though Big 10 and 12 have been there for a while.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Monday. It's the Bottom Line. 100.7 Score and the 100.7 Score mobile app. Y'all keep your thoughts and comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll return to a few more of those here in just a moment or two. But Evelina makes her debut, I think. Tell me I'm wrong. What do you got for us today?
Okay, so tell me I'm wrong. There will be 3 Big 12 teams in the final college football rankings poll.
In the final 12?
The final 25. There'll be 3.
Oh, in the top 25 poll. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think you're wrong, because I think there'll be more than that. How many were there last year? Was it 3? Now I've got to look at that. I think it might have been 3 last year at the end. Because you definitely had Texas Tech and BYU. And I think there's 4. Houston and
TCU.
TCU ended up in the top 25?
I think Houston.
Okay.
Because I like Houston's schedule for them.
Houston.
I think Houston, Utah, BYU, Texas Tech. So that's 4.
So that's 4. So that's where I think you're wrong, because I do think they're, just by default of how many good teams I believe there are, solid teams in the Big 12, I do think there will be a couple that sneak in on the back end. So you picked the 4 that are in the AP top 25 right now.
Yep, I really went out a limb, didn't I?
You really went for that one. I think you've got, 7 or 8 teams that are candidates to be ranked at the end of the year. Is that too many?
Arizona State I could put in there. I could put Arizona. That's 6. TCU is such a wild card to me.
It's hard for me. The TCU is one that is a sort of candidate. I think the other one for me, some people would tell you Oklahoma State. They got votes. Is that not nuts? They got votes in this AP poll. They had 8 points. So it was Arizona, TCU, and Oklahoma State that all got votes, and that was it from the Big 12. So 7 teams is right there. I think Arizona State didn't get a vote. I think if things went well for Oklahoma State, they're one of those teams that is a darling people want to vote for. So if they were 8-4, there'd be a chance. I do think it's more than 3. So were you saying at least 3, Evelina, or were you saying exactly 3?
I think there will be at least 3.
At least 3. Okay.
But I don't think there will be more than 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think 5 is the top. If things went pretty well. I think if it's gone somewhat like our predictions, Jamie, where there's a clear bottom and a clear top to this league, that lends itself to more teams being in a top 25.
Yeah, more teams having a
but if it's been
high number of wins.
If it's like the league has gone the last 2 years, where there's just a bunch of teams between 7 and 9 wins, really 6 and 8 wins, then you're not going to have near as many that have a chance to be ranked. So 5's probably the top number. 3 would be the bottom. So 4 is probably your safe bet on how many end up in the coach's top 25. Or sorry, in the college football playoff top 25. The rankings on the finish of last season. See if I can find the last college football playoff rankings. It doesn't have the final ones. It's only got, I'm sure they're somewhere. All right, this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Bobby Hot Dog says y'all still need to throw eggs at Clint too. Okay, I'm good with that. Bullfighter says I used to have a list of all the punishments Choice still needed to fulfill. List got so long, Nicholas Cage tried to steal it because he thought it was the Declaration of Independence.
Choice, you're not
funny.
fulfilling your duties?
I thought I did. I don't. Again, memory's a little fuzzy. Are you a National Treasure guy?
Oh yeah, I love those movies.
When are we gonna get them to come out with a third one? I'm ready for it.
It's a great question.
There's got to be a third treasure hidden somewhere in America.
Surely
I'm
there
just
is.
like, what are we waiting on?
My first guess would be it would be somewhere underneath the junk on Choice's desk.
Go look right now. It's not that bad. That's my say.
Compared to
What it was
Choice?
before, Jamie. That's where I'm at. It's really not bad. I bet if
I don't know how you work.
a
like
professional desk junk grader walked around our building, I think I would get a solid C+. And that's all. That's average, right? That's what we're going for, is average.
that. I think you compare yourself to the people around you,
Don't we all?
and
I'm not walking in your
you're last.
giant office and being like,
You're last.
I could never have an office as big as yours because
Oh my goodness!
what?
And there's a reason that your
Because I would fill it up with
cubicle's
stuff.
not right next to my door because I would get disgusted walking into my office.
It's not that bad. People are thinking that I've got like rats eating cheese on.
Well, there was a
On my
cheeseburger in there for a while.
I didn't know Clint put it in my drawer. Clint did put a cheeseburger, and then he's taped stuff to the bottom of my desk. There's a literal catcher's cup that has been used that's been moving around. I blame Clint for most of my desk issues, actually. So, glad we're on the same page now.
Yeah.
Quick internet search.
Uh-oh.
National Treasure 3 is officially still active development and is set to release 2028.
Maybe-
So it could happen.
Maybe Choice will have
it's
his desk
possible.
cleaned by then.
I wouldn't count it. Why are we?
And his truck.
My truck's clean right now. You can walk
Well,
out.
it
and-
rained because it rained.
I didn't think Choice's desk was that bad.
Thank you, Evelina.
Well, Evelina, you thought wrong.
My desk really isn't that bad. I have too many papers is the problem. I've got too many stacks of papers. One of them's these 16 pages of us trying to go through that. So I'll clean that off and by the end of the week when we finish up our line projections. Now that's going to sit there for a while. Who am I kidding? My truck is clean. My kid works at a car wash now.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
it's going to be clean now.
Man, I never thought about that with my kids.
Yeah, you should have. That would have been the
done that.
perfect thing for you. It's getting your kid to work at a car wash.
Man.
The AP. Here's the AP to college football playoff odds. So they've got them lined up on this little graphic I'm looking at. So your AP ranking. Ohio State, 1-1. Oregon is tied for second on the odds and also ranked 2. So far their AP voters are in line. Number 3 on the AP ranking is Georgia, but they are 5th best odds to win a title. I mean, who's going to bet on an SEC team when they haven't even been to the playoff in 3 years? That was for you, H-Cop. Number 4 is Notre Dame, but they're tied for the second best odds. And then number 5, the AP ranking, Texas. They've got the 4th best college football playoff odds. Y'all don't care about all that. Skip down to Texas Tech. 12 on the AP ranking, tied for the 9th best odds to win the title.
To
these-
win the title, not just get in.
No, this
win
is
the
to
title.
win the title. Tech has the 9th best odds to win a national championship this year,
That's fun.
tied with Alabama and Ole Miss. It is fun. That's crazy to think about, too. Jamie, this is the highest ranking Texas Tech has had in the preseason since 1977. Like, we think back to last year, like this was kind of the same vein, but it wasn't. You were around 25 in the rankings last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are just a whole different set of expectations.
I
We
thought
had those here.
2008 you were...
I think you're 13.
Okay.
I think you're 13 in the AP poll. I'll look back, but in 77, you were number 8 nationally in the preseason. Most interesting facts of the day on the way. It's the bottom line on 100.7 Score.
getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is time for the most interesting facts of the day, brought to you by Dos Equis, and the most interesting man in the world. He's Jamie. I'm Choice. Lucas and Evelina across the way handling us today. Jamie, did you happen to know that the first chocolate bar was made in 1847? Up to that point, chocolate was just a drink.
I did not know that. Chocolate drink.
So the movie Ever After lied to me?
What about Willy Wonka?
No, that wasn't before 1847.
Probably not.
Ever After, I think, is supposed to be set before 1847.
Oh, was it?
I think so. I don't know. You ever seen it?
I have not.
It's a Cinderella movie. It's
Okay.
pretty good.
Seems like something you'd like.
I'm versatile, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, did you know 77% of people preferred instant coffee over drip in a blind taste test?
Really? It's a little surprising.
It was conducted by the Food Lab at Drexel University in Philadelphia. They did use the fancy instant coffee, so all of that's foreign to me. Jamie, did you know Polaris, the North Star, isn't the brightest star in the sky? It's only the 49th brightest. How do we measure that? Like, is that just some guy that's like, yeah, you look brighter than that one. Yeah, and that one looks brighter.
Sure, there's some sort of mechanism.
I'm sure there is.
Tests its brightness. Mm-hmm.
Jamie, did you know veggie burgers were invented roughly the same time as hamburgers? They both show up in cookbooks in the late 1800s.
Yeah, you didn't hear about many people eating them before. That's kind of something new. Weren't a lot of vegetarians in the old days.
No. Jamie, did you know there have been 12 presidents who were fluent in Latin? It makes it the most common second language for presidents. Greek is the next most popular, with 8 presidents. It's not as prevalent now.
Greek, I wonder.
I know why I would learn Greek. I'd want to learn like the old Bible text, like the New Testament in Greek, where it's translated, where you can do your own kind of. I would like to learn it for that reason, but I don't know what other reasons there would be, and maybe that's what it was for a lot of the former presidents. The last president to be fluent in another language was FDR, who was fluent in French and German. That's a long gap for no other presidents to be bilingual. And Jamie, did you know Joshua Baez did something that no one else has done in Major League history? His first 3 at-bats of his career were all home runs.
It's amazing.
For the Cardinals against the Cubs on Saturday.
It's all downhill after that.
I know. The expectations for this guy are going to be so high. Is this a Javi Baez relative or no?
I have no idea.
I honestly don't know.
His trading cards
but they're
shot up
they're pretty expensive.
tremendously.
Yeah.
And he'll have
and suckers were buying them.
His patch has got to be the debut patch has got to be one of the most valuable ever because of what he did in that game. You would think so. That Topps card will be
that'll be a chase
outrageous.
For sure. Yeah,
that was pretty amazing to see.
I saw recently on Twitter. I don't know, it was a week or so ago, and I can't remember the other guy's full name, but 2 Yankee rookies, Judge being the second one. The guy's name was Tyler something.
Okay.
Anyway, they both made their debut and went back to back and hitting home runs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the same game. So that's pretty
cool.
crazy.
That is pretty. That's a wild stat too. Like for that to ever happen. All right, y'all continue to chime in. We got about 5 minutes left with you, so if you got any comments or questions in the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Bobby Hot Dog says, if any of the mess is dad jokes, please throw it away immediately on the desk. I actually have 3 dad joke books on the desk.
Tyler Austin was the other guy's
Tyler
name.
Austin. Bullfighter says, don't defend Choice, newbie. That was it, you, Evelina.
It wasn't just in their first game. It was their first at-bats for both of them.
That's pretty crazy.
Back to back, yeah.
What are the odds that you have 2 players
Making
hitting
their
back-to-back, making their
in the
debut?
same game, yeah.
Like, just making their debut in the same game for one thing, but they're also back-to-back in the lineup. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. And the craziest note about that is those 2 swings drove in more runs than the Yankees drove in the whole weekend.
There's the most interesting fact of the day. We could come up with some terrible Yankees facts for the most interesting facts of the day.
It is painful.
As bad as the offense has
I
been.
cannot wait for this baseball season to be over.
Watch. They're going to go win the World Series with their pitching, and Jamie's just going to
It is painful.
cry through it all. This texter...
I think I saw somewhere that Carson Beck, through the last pass of the college football season last season,
And the first
preseason
preseason.
pass of the NFL preseason.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the first person to ever do that.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy, too. I forgot I saw that. I'm glad you brought that up. This texter, I would be surprised if Penn State finished outside the top 25. They have a fairly easy schedule. Okay. That's probably right, but I guess I need to see Matt Campbell in State College first. Choice suddenly has something for the Big Ten. Can't read that. I like the Big Ten better than the SEC. There's still a lot of boring football in the Big Ten, too, that I don't want to watch. 2008, we were 12. That's right. I did go back and look. And Tech was this is tied for your second best ranking. AP was 12 in 2008. 1977 was your best ranking, though. Number 8. Preseason-wise. All of our presidents are fluent in a second language. They can speak BS and nonsense.
All of our politicians.
Yeah, just keep it with presidents. It's funny. Shelley says people eat veggie burgers because beef was so expensive. Meat used to be a luxury. Still kind of is for the less than fat cat status. Okay. There you go. We're here to learn. That's what the most interesting fact of the day segment is for. Jamie, here is the list of the best 10 players in the Big 12. According to College Football 2026. Or 27. Sorry. Why do we still do that? There's a pet peeve of mine. Your season is all the way through 2026. Why do we call it College Football 27? Like, they had a chance when this game went away to correct.
You're talking about the video game?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
The video game, people.
Okay, so I'm getting sidetracked by my own complaining. Best football players in the Big 12 Conference. Top 10, according to the video game. Yeah, how many do you think are Red Raiders of the top 10 in the Big 12?
I'm going to put Cam Dickey in there.
He's actually not. L.J. Martin is on the list at number 5 for BYU. He's the highest rated running back.
He's the only running back in the top 10.
Yes.
It's got to be somebody from your linebacking core.
Ben Roberts is number 9.
9.
They have Austin Romaine at 8. They actually have Romaine ranked higher than Roberts. Bryce Pollock is the number 1 player in the Big 12, according to the college football game.
Number 1.
Number 1. He is number 1.
Wow.
Evan Tengsdahl, the offensive lineman for Cincinnati's 2. Chandre Hurst at Houston's 3. A.J. Holmes 4.
Okay.
And then 6 through 9 are all Red Raiders. Sheridan Wilson, Terrence Carter, Austin Romaine, Ben Roberts.
So how many of the top 10 in the Big 12?
6 of the top 10 players in the league, according to this video game,
This is fun.
are all Red Raiders.
I like this.
And that's why so many people think the Red Raiders are going to win this
Go
conference.
12-0.
It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.